Good evening. It is I, your favorite streamer. Name starts with K and ends in Z. And I have leveled Stop up to level 14. I decided to level Stop Magic. Because Stop levels up even if you don't really affect the enemy with it. And while I do that, I'm going to level up to Spell, Stop, Protect, and Bell, or Blink. I had to restart my computer several times for it wanted to work right. It's just like straight up not reading inputs for some reason. It's not that old, I only got like 2 or 3 years. Here is Chatty. Chatty is 100 days out of past its current update. It might not allow me to connect Chatty, unfortunately. Okay, it took about 3 seconds to download it up and up. Oh, thank you. Good lord. Or whatever. I'm really bad about updating things. Usually I don't do it unless I have to. Wait a second. Okay. Let's test it out. It works. Okay, I don't have to fix it. It's been 2 years. Am I gonna do anything special for my 2-year anniversary? I don't know. I should. I really should. I've been watching you fight Marlboros all day yesterday, and here we go again. Yeah, I kind of underestimated how much it would take to level up a spell to level 16. So my plan is, once I level up Stop to level 16, I'm just going to go through the dungeon. You know, sometimes with encounters off, sometimes with encounters on. And I'm just going to Toad everything. And hopefully, leveling up Toad, I'm fairly confident I have a good shot at toading the final boss. Which would just be glorious. Can't believe Final Fantasy got sponsored by a cigarette brand. I know, right? Well, okay, so I don't play. How's it going, Sumo? Oh, hell. What? The mic fucked up? Hang on a second. Oh, the mic is fine. Oh, it's because desktop audio is on. Because I had desktop audio on, I'm sorry. Yeah. Hey. Like I said, I know myself. Sometimes I get distracted by the game, and I look over, and there's been like a 1,000 chats. It was really bad when I didn't always have somebody coming for every stream. And so somebody would say something, I wouldn't know it, I'd look over, and they said it like 20 minutes ago, and they're like long gone. And I'm like, damn. So I think it was Southern Chaos. Southern Chaos, he, like, when somebody would say something, there'd be like a ding, and I'm like, how do you do that? Like, it's annoying as hell, and I don't want to hear it on your stream, but like, how do you do it? And he's like, oh, it's Chatty. It makes a notification every time that someone says something. And if you have a lot of people chatting, you can just set up at be a threshold. Like, when someone says something for the first time, it has like a unique sound, or it only dings every time there's like 3 or 4 messages. But yeah, I have it ding every time someone says anything. So if I'm like streaming or if I'm like playing a game or whatever, and I hear just ding 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 ding, it's like, okay. Sumo, how's Shadow the Tomb Raider? I was kind of lurking for a while, had you on in the background. How do you like Deadly Obsession? The game really isn't that hard. Like, the game isn't that hard. It's just that for the climbing puzzles and the, you know, the acrobatics, whatever you want to call it. I'm glad I started playing it. It is fun. It's a very chill and relaxing game. The way I did it was I played through on normal difficulty, maybe on hard, but I didn't do Deadly Obsession because it's just the guide recommended not to do it because as you're going back and trying to get collectibles, if you like fall off a cliff or if you fall off a mine shaft or if you like fall and die, you got to go back and like redo all the collectibles, and it's tough to just keep track of like, okay, how many collectibles did I get? But on normal difficulty, when you pick up a collectible, it saves. Hard part was the first 30 minutes out of base camp. Now I'm finding one like every 10 minutes. Yeah, so like the way Shadow Tomb Raider works is that when you're in the jungle and you're in like the open world, you're gonna run into base camps all the time. Usually before enemy encounters, so you can like update your stuff and make your new bows and do your new arrows and all that other kind of stuff. But like every now and then, you'll have to go into a tomb and you'll do like a really long. I think the worst one. So this is like a lot farther into the game, but there's one part where you gotta climb down into the tomb, then you're like in the tomb and it's almost like a stealth section. You can defeat the enemies, but they're probably really tough on Deadly Obsession if you don't have like the fully upgraded weapons and armor. So I went through Deadly Obsession with like upgraded everything, so it was a lot easier for me. As you're sneaking through and activating things, then you have like a puzzle, which isn't too bad. Then you have another room that's a puzzle, and it just takes a long time. Then there's an enemy encounter, and after that, I don't know if you've done this so far. Oh, no, you did. You have to, like, run away from things. So, like, in the beginning of that game where you had to, like, run away from the landslide, that's repeated, like, two or three more times throughout the game. Maybe, like, another 3 times. And if you fuck up at any point in that, like, free-for-all running, you got to go all the way back to like the beginning, and it's just it's a lot. Like I think it was like 30 or 40 minutes, maybe even an hour, and I didn't fuck it up. I got through in one try, but I was like, man, if I had fucked that up, it would have been awful. I probably would have been angry, and I would almost certainly have fucked up again because I was angry. GU. I leveled up a bit off stream, but there's still a few things I have to do. Once you hit level 13 or 14, these things take forever to level up. Like, okay, so if you compare my save file from yesterday to the save file now, it's been 10 hours. Most of it, exactly what you see here. I crashed the video yesterday. Oops, I made the mistake of lying down. Okay, good. Kind of want to get done with this so I can play this. I hear good things about it. Oh, Hellblade. I basically played nothing but RPGs for like the last 5 or 6 months. Oh yeah, y'all want to hear a funny story? My FC, I think my FC hates me. Well, at least like half of them do. I was talking to, we were doing maps, right? And maps are pretty chill content. You don't really have to focus too much. So you end up having like good conversations in the voice chat. And there was this guy who apparently used to raid with them or something like that, but he like hadn't been around for a while. And everyone's like, oh, it's nice to see you, whatever. And he started talking about, well, my mic stopped working for some reason. And we had been talking and like my mic stopped working and he said something like, man, I haven't heard Tomboy say anything, you know? And cause we've been talking about Dot Hack. We've been talking about anime. And he's like, it's nice to, you know, talk to someone who likes anime. And I realized my mic wasn't working, so I just put in the chat, I hate anime. But it wasn't the party chat, it was the FC chat. And then everyone was like, "Oh, how dare you! I'm gonna kick you." But then I kind of clarified. It's like we ended up talking about Persona 5, and it's like one thing I like about Persona 5 is it takes like the tropes of anime, but it makes them like make sense. So like, okay, in a lot of like school days anime, they just have, you know, overly sexualized women. And rarely does it play a part in the story. Like, rarely is it relevant to the story that they're sexualized the way they are. Persona 5 does that, but Persona 5 makes it relevant to the story, and it, like, makes sense. You know? Like, Persona 5 has, like, statues of, like, half-naked women in Kamoshida's palace, but that's because Kamoshida is, like, a pervert, and that's how he sees women. And the statues don't have faces either, because he doesn't see them as separate individuals, just, like, pieces of meat. So, like that's a trope with anime, that they just have sexualized high school girls everywhere, for little to no reason. And we were talking about that, and then I started talking shit about some choice anime that do that, and other people were like, well, I really like that anime. I'm like, okay, great, I don't like. That wasn't what probably made some enemies. I started talking shit about Final Fantasy 15 because, so I was saying that like Persona 5 has these like instances of, you know, lewdness and overly sexualized females, and on the surface, if you're just looking at it, it's like, oh, it's just, you know, that's anime, that's what it does. But in the context of the story, it makes sense. Like in Kamoshida's arc, he uses women. He doesn't really respect them. Like in terms of sex, he's not concerned about their pleasure or their interest. Like they don't have any agency as like sexual beings. Darksiders 1. I'm assuming that's the PS4 version. I got pretty far with Darksiders. OG. Or remaster. I got pretty far with that, but like... So before I really... And you're not gonna believe it, but before I kind of made the conscious decision to go after Platinum trophies, especially like streaming them, I would just like lose interest in games, and I wouldn't finish them. Darksiders 1, I think, it has like 4 areas? 4 or 5 areas, and I finished 3 of those.
Hello there.
What's up, Sourdough? That might be enough. So Sourdough, speaking of the devil, has maxed out NP. So she has 999 NP. What's up, Franco? Shit, everyone's here. It's a party. How y'all enjoying your Memorial Day weekend? Minus those who live up in the cold, cold, unforgiving north. I decided to level up Stop. Oh yeah, I looked it up. So, because of the way the magic system works, there's no enemy in the game that's immune to status effect spells level 16. Actually pretty down here for a change. It's not but it's not that human. Oh yeah, and when my boy runs out of NP, he just starts attacking. Try it again. Bro, I'm gonna stomp all over this final boss. Unless he ambushes me and just instantly kills me, I'm probably gonna stomp all over him. This may not even level up Stop. I might have to do this again. Stop did not level up. Hey, Chalker's hands leveled up, though. Sourdough's magic went up. About 2/3 of the way. Yeah, so here's the thing, Franco. We need to get a spell to level 16. There are 2 trophies, one to get a weapon to level 16, and one to get a spell to level 16. Those are the max levels. I don't know why 16, but those are the max levels. And we did the sword with Rin. Rin has sword level 16. And we just have to pick one spell to get to level 16. And that, I've decided that's going to be the Stop spell. I'm also leveling Dispel because apparently the final boss likes to cast some pretty nasty like buffs on himself, like haste and protect and blink and like a ton of abilities. But something interesting is that the Blood Sword, the Blood Sword has very low strength, but the Blood Sword ignores all defensive buffs. So it will do normal damage to the final boss. I think it'll do like max damage to the final boss. Whereas every other weapon will do significantly less damage to it. But that doesn't matter because I am casting Stop. Wait, are they immune to Stop? They might be immune to Stop. Oh yeah, they use Osmos. Maybe that's not the best idea. Yes, you do. It doesn't matter. You just have to cast the spell. So, like, okay, in theory... Okay, so the way Final Fantasy II works... I assume everyone here has played, like, a normal RPG where enemies give you experience and level up. Final Fantasy II doesn't work like that. In Final Fantasy II, if you're always attacking with a character, you're going to level up strength because you're always attacking. Like, you level up what you use. If you get hit a lot, you're going to level up your defensive stats, and you're going to level up your HP. If you use swords a lot, you're going to level up your swords. Currently at work, completely exhausted. I hope I can finish soon, like exactly at midnight. That's like 5 hours from now. Oh, can you make it? Sourdough, it is Sunday. It is the day of rest. Shomer Shabbos. But, so, and that's not a bad idea, right? Okay, you know, your physical attackers that always attack are going to get stronger at attacking. Cool. And your characters that use a lot of magic, they get their magic levels up. So, what you can do is kind of build your party the way you want to. It sounds good in theory, but here's where it kind of falls apart. Magic spells also can level up. And for some magic spells, that's kind of cool, you know? So, like your basic fire spell will just level up, you know? So it's like, okay, the more you use fire, the stronger it gets. Cool. And the more you use magic spells, the better your magic gets. And the better your and more MP you have. Thank you for the hydrate. That's all well and good so far. But then you factor in the status effect spells. And the buff spells. So literally every spell you have to level up. So you'll get a spell like Protect. And Protect level 1 is dog shit. It's almost not worth casting. Or a Blink spell. Blink increases your evasion. But Blink level 1 is dog shit. It's really not that good. And so on and so forth, right? And here's the real kicker. Spells that remove status effects, you have to level up as well. So in most Final Fantasies, you might get a spell that removes a specific status effect. So you might get a spell that removes stone, or you might get a spell that removes poison, right? Well, in Final Fantasy II, these spells, they won't work at level 1. So the only way to really make use of them is you go into a fight and you just cast them over and over and over and over again. That's the only real way to make them viable. Now, there's a way around this, sort of. The way you learn magic spells is by buying books. The idea is the books can teach you how to use spells. You can... get out of here. You can also learn to use these spells... or you can use these books in combat, and they'll give you, like, a pretty powerful version of the spell. So it might give... let's say you buy the Fire Tome, and you use it. It might let you use Fire 8 or something like that. Code. But in the beginning, these spells are super expensive. And money's hard to come by. Toward the end of the game, not so much. What you could do is just plan out the amount of spells you're going to use and just buy enough tomes to use them as items in battle. So if you don't want to level up Asuna, you just buy Asuna or buy Basuna, and you can just level it up that way. Of course, Stop didn't level up, did it? Bro. You don't have to level up spells to the maximum to beat the game. You really don't. The game is not that difficult. The the game is more frustrating and annoying than anything else because a lot of enemies. We use a spell. I've used a spell. A lot of enemies use status effects, especially compared to Final Fantasy 1. Final Fantasy 1 enemies would use... Enemies were kind of bullshit in Final Fantasy 1 because, like, Corels... So Corels were, like, super dangerous in early Final Fantasies. They're not so dangerous anymore. But they would have the ability to instantly kill your entire party. They had this move called Blaster, and Blaster would hit the entire party, and it had, like, a 25% chance of killing you. So, if you're really unlucky, you'll get into a fight with a Corel, they will start the fight with Blaster, and they will kill you, and you won't get a turn, and you'll just get a game over. That was a very real situation in Final Fantasy 1. That doesn't really happen in Final Fantasy 2, but there are some dungeons where every other enemy is casting Confuse on you, or Stun, or Poison. It's just ridiculous. But here's another thing about Final Fantasy 2. You don't have to have enemies to level up. Alright, so you see what I'm doing right now. I'm just constantly casting the same spell. This will level them up. Like, the spell doesn't have to have its intended effect, except Cure. Cure does have to actually recover HP to level up. But Stop does not have to inflict Stop. Protect doesn't really have to raise your defense. Blink doesn't have to really raise your evasion. As long as you cast it, it'll level up. It's like an invisible experience bar. Now, casting magic on enemies that's not status effects does require higher level enemies to level up. But here's what you can do. You can cast magic on your own party members. So think about it. Because the way you level up is based on how strong the enemy you're attacking is. And you will get stronger if you're attacked by strong enemies. So there's this kind of feedback loop that goes into infinity if you attack yourself. So let's say you've got really high strength and you attack yourself. Then someone else will cure you, and you'll just keep attacking yourself while someone else cures you. When you finish the fight, the game thinks that you were attacked over and over and over again by a really tough enemy, and so it's going to level up your defenses and your health by a lot. So the next fight you get into, you attack yourself, and you don't do as much damage, because you're attacking a tough enemy. So what the game thinks is that you're attacking a tough enemy, and you need to get stronger. Then your strength's going to level up enormously. The next fight, you're doing more damage to yourself, so it's going to level up your defenses, and on and on and on and on and on. If you really wanted to, you could spend about an hour or two attacking yourself, and you're pretty much going to be overpowered for the entire game. It's a system that seems good until you think about it even a little bit, and then it kind of becomes a bit of a mess. But to be fair, they made this game in a year. This game came out a year after Final Fantasy 1. That was, concept, writing, storyboard, design, production, shipping, marketing. In 1 year, they made this game. And they want to do something different. So, the first Final Fantasy is, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek. The first Final Fantasy has many references to Dragon Quest. And in a way, it's kind of poking fun at Dragon Quest. In Dragon Quest 1, the only your only mission objective for the entire game was to save a princess. Like, if you ever played Dragon Quest 1, you start Dragon Quest 1 in, like, the king's chamber, and the king says, "Oh, great warrior of the land, please go rescue my daughter from the evil dragon." Hence the name Dragon Quest. You start off with basically nothing. And you're only one warrior. You don't have a party. So you go out and you beat up slimes for a while. You get some experience. You get some gold. You go back into town and you buy some equipment and armor. Then you go back out and now you can go a bit further. You can kill more enemies. You go back, get some more equipment and some armor. You go through some dungeons. Like, the whole game is just grinding to be strong enough to defeat the dragon. And once you finally get to the dragon, you defeat him and you free the princess, and that's it. That's the entire game. That's it. It's not that long. It's not that complex. There's really not much story to it. The story is, hey, please save the princess, and at the end you save the princess. So Final Fantasy, which came out, I think, 2 years after Dragon Quest, maybe a year after Dragon Quest, the first thing you do is save a princess. from an evil knight. Very similar to Dragon Quest. But the thing is, you do that in the first, like, 10 minutes. And then you go back to the king. The king says, in your honor, I'm building a bridge so you can go to the northern continent. And when you cross that continent, then the title screen appears. And I think that was a subtle dig. I've never seen an interview that says this, but I'm pretty sure that was kind of a subtle dig at Dragon Quest. How Dragon Quest was like such a limited story and scope, and how it was like so basic and simple, and it really wasn't enough to carry an entire game. So here's Final Fantasy that's going to tell an even better story, and it's going to start off with the kind of garbage story that Dragon Quest told. It's kind of like a subtle dig. There's also a gravestone in one of the towns where if you read it, it says, "Here lies Erdrick." Erdrick is the name of the character. That's the canonical name of the character in Dragon Quest 1. Even though in Dragon Quest 1, the character is whatever you name it to be. The canonical name is Erdrick. So it's almost like they might be saying like, oh, Final Fantasy is going to bury Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest is the old RPG. Final Fantasy is the new RPG. And not quite. Dragon Quest is still going strong in Japan. And possibly America. Dragon Quest XI did very well in the West. I would love to see like the Dragon Quest like a Dragon Quest Pixel remasters. Oh god, there's basically no way to play the original Dragon Quest games on like modern hardware. For whatever reason, they released almost all of the original Dragon Quest games on a 3DS of all things. So if you want to play the original Dragon Quest, you got to play the 3DS. And it's like, okay, huh? It's a small miracle Dragon Quest XI came out on modern consoles, aside from Nintendo ones, at all. Anyway, how's everyone doing tonight? Nothing like doing this, huh? Right before stream, I was thinking about doing this, but then I decided to go and do some extreme raiding, or do some extreme trials. And I got my 2 clears so I can buy a weapon of my choice. And I got an additional weapon for my paladin, so I now have two weapons from the extreme trial, and I can buy whatever other weapon I want. I think I might buy a red mage weapon. I'm really liking red mage. Dark Knight, I don't know. Dark Knight has so little sustain. I finally got Dark Knight to level 70, and I'm not the biggest fan. I mean, it's okay, like. God help you if you forget to use Blackest Night. Or God help you if you use too much MP and don't have enough MP for Blackest Night. You're just, like, super fucked. Blackest Night's overpowered if you can, like, manage it well. But it's so easy to just use too much MP when you're attacking. And now you don't have MP for the Blackest Night and you're taking tons of damage. I'm gonna say that's enough. I love how derpy the frogs look. Yes! Stop leveled up. We have level 15 stop. Maybe one or two more battles, and we'll have level 16 stop and our final gold trophy before we can just go into the final dungeon and end this. Oh, look at that. Oh, level 15 stop. I don't know why level 16. Level 16 doesn't make any sense to me. Let's do protect and blink. Protect and blink are extremely powerful. So in Final Fantasy 1, attacks couldn't miss. But the way accuracy worked in Final Fantasy 1 was fucking weird. So higher accuracy meant you could attack more times in one turn. Like, Final Fantasy 1 is basically just a rip-off of Dungeons & Dragons. to the point where a lot of monsters just straight up look like the original monster manuals. I want to say they were sued and they settled out of court, but like so many Final Fantasy 1 monsters resemble Dragon Quest, or I'm sorry, Dungeons and Dragons monsters, which is why a lot of monsters that appeared in Final Fantasy 1 don't really show up again, like Pisco Demons. I think they're called Gazers. Like Pisco Demons. Pisco Demons are straight up just like copies of what is it? Yeah, Pisco Demon, Final Fantasy. Also known as the Wizard. Yeah, Pisco Demons are just called demons in Dungeons and Dragons. I think if we spend all our MP just casting stop over and over again in 2 battles, we'll have enough to finally get to level 16. That's the thing, like... So, reading through the trophy guide on PSN Profiles, they say that there's a possibility, even a likelihood, that you will get a spell to level 16 just playing through the game normally. I think that's horseshit. That's just horseshit. You have to go out of your way to do this. Maybe if you're fucking up all the time and casting cure magic all the time, like maybe, but like no, not really. See, what I don't want to do is this be the last trophy. And we just constantly spam magic spell in one battle and then end the battle, and that's like the platinum trophy. I'd much rather be the end of the game be the platinum trophy, just like we did with Final Fantasy 1. But I gotta do this shit. I don't know if I had to do this for Final Fantasy 3. I'm actually really looking forward to playing Final Fantasy 3 because I've never really played it. I played it a little bit. I played maybe like a couple hours of it, but I never played the whole thing. And let's see, are there... Final Fantasy 3, incidentally, is the executive producer of Final Fantasy 14, Naoki Yoshida. It's his favorite Final Fantasy 3. I think it's mostly because he's 50 years. Oh, okay. We get, level up 1 job to level 99 and learn all summon magic. Okay, so that's the only grindy ones. Final Fantasy 3. Do. Oh, excuse me. Bro, I really, man, I'm looking at some of the sprites for Final Fantasy 3, and some of them look so fucking cool. What's really cool is that Final Fantasy 3, I almost say there's like 25 different jobs altogether, and a lot of them, like Dark Knight. Dark Knight first appeared in Final Fantasy 3, but Dark Knights in this game are kind of weird. Like Dark Knights can cast healing magic. And in Final Fantasy IV, the main character is a Dark Knight, and they can't do that. Like the more modern idea of like a Dark Knight in Final Fantasy was not from Final Fantasy III; it was from Final Fantasy IV. Come on, cast more spells. Maybe we should have the other characters just defend instead of casting spells. Or even just kill them so they never get a turn. Yeah, but it would be nice to have very high level blinks and protects. Bro, Final Fantasy III looks so much fun. Way more fun than this crap. I mean, yeah, there's probably gonna be a bit of grinding. There always is a bit of grinding in most JRPGs, but I don't know. I mean, Final Fantasy 1 wasn't too. I didn't have to grind at all, really. Like, I ended up grinding because I would get lost looking for fucking treasure chests. I never had to do anything like this. I mean, to be fair, I did kind of like turn encounters off when I was going through dungeons because it's like every 5 feet you get into a random encounter. It's like so frustrating. And the dungeon design isn't the best. So many empty rooms with like nothing in them except super high random encounter rate. Okay. It's gonna take 2 fights, fully exhausting Sourdough's MP to level this thing up to level 60 or 16. Jesus, imagine level 60. Oh my god. "15 more turns, and Chakra will be out of MP and start attacking." Just want to turn on a YouTube video or something. I don't think the enemies got in a single turn. Deck Barrier Blink leveled up. Okay, how close is stop? We got one more fight in us. A little more than halfway. One more fight. One more of those, and we'll have stop leveled up all the way. Damn, we're almost at an hour. Fuck. Goddamn stop. How's the bestiary look though? It should be pretty close to done with the bestiary. 3 enemies. 3 enemies. What are we missing? Well, let's... Okay, we're missing... 128 is going to be the final boss, I'm pretty sure. We're missing 98. 98 and 47. I'm going to get in a fight, and I'm going to look up what 98 and 47 are. I'm almost positive they're going to be in Pandemonium. Oh wait, no, I can just look on PSN profiles. They have the entire bestiary listed. PSN profiles. Okay. 4798. Wait, was it really 98? No. 7? 47's a boss. And the last one is the final version. Or the last one is the final boss. There's like 5 different versions of fucking... Is it really 98? Any way to check while I'm in the middle of a fight? I don't think so. No, I've definitely encountered the Goblin Prince before. It's the same battle music that plays during the Extreme Trial that just released in Final Fantasy XIV. So I've been hearing this music for a lot lately. Yeah, I think it's gonna take an entire MP bar. We're talking like 1,000 cast, or no, 100 cast of stop to level up this last little bit to level 16. I might literally just turn off encounters while I'm going through the final dungeon. Do 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 do. Come on. Hurry up. I'm gonna say that's enough. I'm gonna hope that that's just enough to get us level 16. I am so tired of this. Come on, level 16. Ah! Basuna leveled up, though. How close? Oh, it's so close. Let's just attack. I'm pretty sure we can... Okay, we can't toad these things. Yeah. One last fight. Also here, the Emperor likes to cast danger status effects on you. They need to have your Asuna and Basuna leveled up as well. I'll be right back. Let me get some more water. You enough? You guys do anything special with your day off? I'm lucky. I get 4 days off. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. Hey, Raven! What's up, Raven? Oh yeah, we finally got you back in our party. Check it out. Look at the character's name on the bottom, named Raven. If you stick around, you're going to be able to see us get a platinum trophy. The reason we don't have one yet is because we need to level up a magic spell to level 16. And the way you level up magic spells is just by using them a lot. So I am leveling up Stop, because Stop levels up whether it works or not. Feather friend, fine to hear that. My feathers feel feather fine. That's good, man. How you enjoying your weekend? Your long weekend. Are you American? think that's enough. I think that's enough. I'm gonna turn them into toads and go about my business. Yes, stop leveled up. That was it. That was the final spell. Let's see it. Let's see that trophy. Boom! Magic tactics. Oh, we did it. Oh, we did it, guys. Oh, man. I may just sit through that. But... that's a part of a platinum trophy. Doing extraordinarily tedious things. Time to go back to the final dungeon for the final time. First, I need to see... what am I actually missing? I am missing 98. Why am I missing 98? Hang on a second. Oh, does that mean I have to go... that means I have to go search out... okay, so 98 is, Goblin King. Or Goblin Prince. Keshwan Keep. I could have sworn I got that. I could have sworn I got that. Where's Keshwan Keep? We got to go to Keshwan Keep. There's one enemy we forgot to get there. Aside from that, the only thing left are bosses. Immediately. That's it. The Goblin Prince is the guy we haven't encountered yet. I doubt these things could even hurt us. Just turn them all into toads. Okay. We only need 2 left. Oh, that was it. Oh, let's get out of here. Oh, baby. We can just turn encounters off. We can just leave encounters off the whole time. There's no more random encounters that we need to get for the bestiary. The only thing left are bosses. There's a boss in Pandemonium we didn't get to, kind of a mini boss, and then there's the final boss. And the last chests we need are also in Pandemonium. So we have all chests in the game to get, and we have all enemies to get, both of which are waiting for us in Pandemonium, and we don't have to turn. I really hope I didn't miss a chest in one of the many missable dungeons. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I swear to God, if I get to the end of Pandemonium and I open up the last chest and I don't get that trophy, I might just I might lose my mind. Was it this? Of course I don't remember which way we have to go. Is it this? There we go. I love how no matter if it's like a cave or a castle or like some random floating bit of, you know, whatever, like they're almost all designed the same. Oh, fuck you. I could have sworn that was it. Okay, it's up here. Boom. So weird to me that in like these caves they have like perfectly carved stairwells and stuff like that. It's also kind of weird that walking under a waterfall hurts you, in the same way that walking on lava hurts you. I'm kind of glad they did away with that in other Final Fantasies, like having to walk on like lava and stuff like that. All right, up here. Down here. I think it's down here. Boom. And thank you for the hydrate, Raven. It's taking like an hour with all the random encounters, which we don't have to do anymore. I'm fairly confident that I'm leveled up enough that I can take on the bosses. Oh, this music though. The remixed Pandemonium music is so good. I love how Pandemonium looks so unique compared to every other dungeon in the game, as it should. I mean, it's the final dungeon. It's also a city from hell that's risen above. It's risen up from hell. Go that way. Hey, Prompto! You just in time to see a platinum pop. How you doing? How is your Sunday going, my friend? What is up? Hey, Chalker! Hey, thank you for the stretch. Chalker, we have leveled up Stop to level 16, and we've leveled up Sword Skill for Rin up to level 16. So we have gotten those gold trophies. They are on lock. Actually, I think we got... Yeah, we got 5 gold trophies, not 4. The 2 gold trophies left are Bestiary and then Treasure. And we're going to find all the treasure chests in this final area of Pandemonium. God, I hope so. There's 5 treasure chests left in the game. I really hope I'm not a liar. I really hope I open up the 5th treasure chest and it's, like, good. I don't think... Does it track treasure chests in places you can't get back to? I swear I got all the treasure chests in the missable areas. I swear I did. 100% I did. Hey, there's one up there. How do I get there? I have to go through... Wait a second. Oh, fuck. Oh, no, I can go through... Can I? I can go through there. Boom. Is this the boss? Oh, this is him. This is one of the 2 we're missing. Okay, so first things first. We're going to throw down Barrier. We're going to throw down Toad. Throw down Protect and Blink. This is actually the undead version of an earlier boss. But how about you? I'm doing very good because we're about to get another platinum trophy. Toad missed. Toad isn't gonna work. We can't just toad him to death. It's okay. I have a backup plan. Berserk, Berserk, attack, and what else but Berserk? Layer 16, bro. Just keep berserking, Chalker. Just keep berserking, my man. Boom, 2 hits. I'll have to watch Plat Pop on YouTube. I'm still at work. Aw. You're working on a Sunday? Man, that sucks. Genji gloves. I already got Genji gloves. Okay. So there's 4 more treasure chests. Did we get all the ones in here? We did, yeah. These 4 doors are kind of confusing. Rin! You'll never see it coming. Rin. We are hopefully not too far away from getting the platinum trophy. And God help us if I have missed something or forgot something. How you doing this Sunday, man? You having a bit of a lazy Sunday? I am. I haven't done much. I did like some shopping. I did some chores. Took a really nice hike. I went for a run. Okay, so... Okay, I think I got all the chests. What's the way forward, then? Oh, I think I just go over there when I'm done. Hey, what the fuck? Oh, I see. I gotta find my way through this maze. Let's see. Is there a stairwell somewhere? I don't see a stairwell here, though. Oh, I see. There it is. So I can go around... Yeah, okay. Check it out. We have... Look at our bestiary. We've got 1 left, and that's the final boss. And we have 5 chests left. I'm pretty confident that I got all the chests. in the missable areas. Unfortunately, the game doesn't keep track of the chests you got in missable areas. You just have to kind of like believe. Boom. There's 10 floors of hell, and we're on 4th floor. Oh, man, we're not even halfway done. But I sure as fuck am not turning. Luckily, I can keep random encounters off. Oh, boom! There's another chest. Sage's Wisdom. I'm alright. Friday and Saturday night at the anime con was a lot of fun. Still, even with only being there for the evening night. Oh, really? What did you cosplay as? You might have put it in your Discord, but I haven't looked. I'm sorry. Can we go on this? Okay. Bro, what if the final boss is in the treasure chest? Okay, that's another. There's 2 more chests. What's in here? A bunch of items I'm not going to use because I'm just going to use the toad spell. You're here to see. Oh, you went as a Joker. You went as Kashmir Z. That's his name in my game. Okay. We're in town. We're going to turn encounters on a bit because it's, it's not as entertaining walking through this place with oh, what the fuck? Your chest? Did you miss a chest? Hang on a second. I want to make sure we're not going to go too far forward and defeat the boss and then have to go back because we missed a chest. There you Trevor Hunt. Oh, now you're hitting this emote. Oh, you went as Noctis. Nice. Where is it? I'm looking at a little guide to make sure I don't go too far forward and accidentally encounter the final boss. Okay, so we missed a chest somewhere. We missed a chest somewhere. So the 2 chests in this area should have been the last one, but we missed one somewhere. But luckily it's in here somewhere. It's not like an admissible area we can't get back to. I probably just didn't see it, or I overlooked it. I don't see one on this screen. This area fucks with my eyes. Did you get a lot of compliments for being Joker and being Noctis? Wait a second. Okay, so it was fun too because I got to see and hang out with one of my cosplay friends from the hideout. Oh, really? What did they go as? That the more you talk about it, the more fun it sounds. I haven't been to a convention in a very long time. Basically not since high school. And at the beginning of this, I had like default speed to walk, and I was fighting every encounter, and now it's like, just get through it, just let's go, come on, time to go. I think it's before this room. I think I'm missing something before this room. I should see the chest like right on the map. They went as Chide from Genshin Impact. I haven't played Genshin Impact in so long. Who is wait, Child? Chide? How do you say that name? Ew. Is this last chest? I really hope I just like am not seeing it. Like, is it on the first floor? And I missed it on the first floor? Maybe it is on the first one. I missed it right there. Oh, I see. You bastard. Ah, it's hidden. It's hidden very well. Starry Night, they did both the characters from Chainsaw Man and Kai from Genshin Impact. Did you go to like a local con, or did you like travel somewhere to go to this con? Because they have cons all the time up in Seattle. I just haven't been to one. Local con? The only con I've been to was in Baltimore. I grew up in Frederick, Maryland, which is not too far away from Baltimore. I think it was Otakon. I went to Otakon. Like, high school. So we're talking like 2003, 2004-ish. It was a lot of fun. Okay. I think it's this one? No, it's not this one. Might be this one. Might be the second one. Happens every year in May, except last year it was in July. Oh, so you go every year? It's this one. This is the room. I probably never would have found this without a guide. Oh, fuck you. I gotta be in the other one. Yeah, I gotta go in the other one. Luckily, it's not so bad because no random encounters. Do you go as Joker and Noctis every year? I mean, if you're good at something, why change it? Okay. Yeah, so there's a little... So this area has, like, motion on it. You can actually walk past it. Here it is, the final chest. Please, please pop. Masamune. Legendary Treasure Hunter! Collect 100%! 100% of the chests. Fuck yeah. The only thing left is to defeat the Emperor. Defeat the final boss. Let's put Masamune in one hand, Excalibur in the other, and max out attack power. Last year was Yusuke and Rin. So when I think of Yusuke, I think of like Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho. But I imagine that's not the Yusuke that you're thinking of. Oh, fuck. Was it number 4? Was it? Okay, yeah. Oh, man. No, it was door number 3. Oh, my lord. I might turn encounters on, actually. I have enough elixirs that I can recover my health before I fight the final boss. You'll see when you get to May. I never see it coming. Let's just attack. Toad, attack, and attack. Damn, Raven. Raven might be doing more damage than Chalker now. Yeah, fuck you. Just toad everything. And every time I toad, my toad gets stronger. You can't beat my toad, just like you can't beat my kung fu. And somehow Rin is still... Rin, somehow you're still getting HP ups. How many cons have you been to, Rin? I really haven't been to many. What? You only turned one thing to a toad? Bro, yesterday we were toading everything. That's more like it. Some of the toughest enemies in the game, and we just turn them into toads and go on about our way. We don't get any gil from them because they run away. They don't actually die and drop items, but who cares? Boom! And I want to say successful toads give you like double XP. Couple it's harder to fully go and sign them now than before. Do the thing. Oh, you're talking about like COVID and stuff like that? COVID really changed the world. Ribbit. Ribbit. I'm in such a better mood now that I'm like on my way to the final boss and like nothing's in my way. The only thing we have left to do is defeat the final boss. That's it. All we gotta do is just get there and beat him, and that's it. Ooh, an Iron Giant. I bet I can turn that bitch into a toad. Exactly, they did cancel the 2020 and 2021 years. Yeah, a lot of things got canceled. COVID really like disrupted a lot of things for a long time. And I think I'd say some for the better. Like for a short period of time, you know, grocery store workers and like, you know, like a lot of people were more highly valued for like a brief period of time. You know, probably that should be valued all the time. Like nurses. There was a brief period of time where like, you know, nurses got a lot of accolades, as they should. But then they just kind of like forgot about them. More so how much I could afford. I see. It's hard to grind out Toad because once you turn them into a Toad, they run away. So you can't just cast Toad 100 times on the same enemy. How did Sword leveled up? Oh no, Raven's Sword leveled up. It's very easy to get overpowered in this game. It basically just makes you walk around in a big circle, and the whole time you're just countering. Wow, I guess. Oh my god. Toad, why are you so overpowered? Thankfully, the con I went to, let's hang out and cosplay outside, with it being a big area outside. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. I mean, yeah, the tickets are expensive, and then you have to like you have to fly there, and you have to provide like you have to buy a hotel. Like it's very expensive. I mean, it's nice to have a place right here. I've been thinking about renting out the extra room I have, but I don't know. I do kind of rent my house out when I'm not here. Like a buddy of mine stayed here while I was in Malaysia and paid me like half the mortgage. So paid me like $900 a month to stay here, which I don't know where you guys are from, but that is stupid cheap for rent in this part of the country. I think it was private minimum. Private minimum said his mortgage was like $400 or $500. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, that's a car payment. Like, damn, I need to get a place in. I need to get some property in West Virginia. Cosplay friend I hang out with, stayed in a hotel with friends. Yeah. Yeah, because then you have to like, you know, you have to account for food. You have to account for like hotel stays. You have to account for like all this other stuff. What was this Toad doing to level up? Yeah, not that close. Corels were so dangerous before I could just turn them all into Toads. You actually have raided them before and know which. Shot Flame? Who is it? Have I raided them? I guess I did. Must have only raided them once or twice. $15,000 gil. Bro. You start out getting like 10, 20 gil. Alright, yeah, this is just a long walk. Fuck yeah, turn them all to Toads. King Behemoth. Turn him into a Toad. We turned him into a Toad! We turned the King Behemoth into a Toad! Bro, they need to add Toad spell to Final Fantasy XIV. You need to be able to turn things into Toads. Like, shit. Oh, it should be a blue mage spell. Oh, 100% should be a blue mage spell. Like, there's enemies in the game that can turn you into toads. It should be like Frog Song. Like, you start... It takes a couple seconds to sing. Like 5 or 6 seconds to sing, but once you finish singing, everyone around you turns into a toad. You could use Hydro Pull to bring enemies close to you. Then you could use Ram's Voice to freeze them. And then use Toad Song to turn them all into toads while they're frozen. How awesome would that be? Bro. Is this the final dungeon of the game? This is the final dungeon of the game with some of the toughest enemies. Half of these enemies are previous mini-bosses, and Toad is just wiping the floor with all of them. I never tried out Death's. So, like, oh, is this it? Oh, this is it. This is the final area. This is the final area, guys. Okay, let's walk. Just casually turn King Behemoth into a toad. Okay, we're going to use our elixirs. Oh, shit. Here it is. You have braved the bowels of hell to reach me. But the hand of man, which deals in false justice and forsaken love, can never hope to defeat the Lord Master of Hell. Bro, look at this motherfucker. Okay. First things first, barrier. Protect against status ailments. Haste. More attacks. The attack. And blink. Why the hell did it not affect you? How did it miss? How did Barrier 7 miss? Oh, it's because he's wearing the ribbon. And Blink 12. Okay. 25 damage. Oh my god. My man threw a meteor at us. Okay. We're going to attack with a blood sword. And we're going to try to turn this bitch into a toad. Let's use Berserk. The blood sword's doing a lot of damage to him. Toad healed him. Toad healed him. I think this might kill him. I think so. He takes maximum damage from the blood sword. Let's do Toad again. Chalker is like worthless now. That's it. We killed him. Two turns and we killed him. Kind of anticlimactic, but I'll take it. Unbelievable. Defeated by insects like you. Not once, but twice. Who are you? Ah! I love how in Final Fantasy 2 he doesn't get a name. His actual name is Emperor Mateus, but that's never mentioned in the game. In any game. It's done. Now let's get out of here. Yeah, casually went to the capital of hell, defeated the Emperor. Now let's get out of here. That was the final field research professional, because that was the last enemy in the game, was the final boss. The only trophy left is for beating the game, which will happen after the cutscene. It's finally over, isn't it? The long struggle. With the Emperor gone, we've nothing to fear. Thank you. All my heart. Thank you. With the combined strength of Kashwan and Finn, we will build the kingdom anew. Together, Princess, we will create a kingdom even fairer than the old. Though once a coward, I now stand here a new man. I have all to you to thank for that. You have my deepest gratitude. Sure, Scott is smiling down on me from above. Look at you. Do you realize what you've done? Who am I supposed to steal from with the Emperor gone? Or the Empire gone? You put me out of a job. I guess I'll just have to start stealing from you. Better watch your backs. But seriously. You sure showed him, Rin. You're every bit the bloke I pegged you for. Wonder what she means by that. If you ever feel like trying your hand at pirating... What? That not sit well with you, Sourdough? Ha, looks like your next battle's already begun, Rin. Yeah, it's like never hinted at or even mentioned, but Firion and Maria are a couple. It's just a thing that happens. It's never like hinted at or anything, but all of a sudden it's just how it is. You did it! Sure my dad's happy for you too, up there above the clouds. Oh, that's Joseph's daughter. Gonna be working here, serving the princess. I just want to do whatever I can to help out. Is that Joseph? We must now dedicate ourselves to the task of restoring what was once lost. Farewell. Words cannot express my gratitude to you all. They're just gonna leave. War finally over. Yes. We can all live in peace again, together. Right, Raven? There can be no going back. Not for all of us. But why? Don't go. Rin, stop him. Sourdough, Raven is right. We've been through too much. I can't stop him. Not now. Raven, we'll meet again. Minwu, Cid, Ricard, and Joseph. Our 4 friends that died so that we could earn this peace. Well, we should be going too. This is only the beginning. Their long struggle was finally at an end. The Emperor, Pandemonium, the monsters plaguing the world, all had vanished without a trace. Peace had returned once more. The wounds of the war would mend. And the memory of those bitter days would fade. But one thing would never be forgotten. That a band of young heroes once saved the world. Oh, it's so classic. Oh my god. It's like the 80s all over again. Oh, that looks amazing. Final Fantasy II Pixel Remaster. Supervised by Yoshinori Kitase. Yoshinori Kitase, I love you. He's definitely a part of the old guard. Okay, now it's time to talk about it. This took a bit longer than Final Fantasy 1. This probably took 2 to 3 times as long as Final Fantasy 1. Solely because of the random encounters and the grinding. So let's back up a bit. Final Fantasy 2 is the first sequel to Final Fantasy. But this sequel doesn't have any characters from the first one. Doesn't even take place in the same world as the first one. And doesn't include any returning gameplay elements at all, pretty much. It is a sequel in name only. It's essentially an entirely different game. Plats at the end of the credits? Yeah, I think it plats at the end of the credits. Gives me time to talk about it, though. Final Fantasy 2, it would have been too easy to make another Final Fantasy very similar to the first one. But Sakaguchi and his like team of like 5 people were like, no, let's do something different. Let's do something crazy. And they decided to tell a very for the time and maybe for now, a fairly mature story about the ravages of war and how ambition and colonialization and invasion affect everyone. There's a lot of tragic moments in this game. Four main characters die in the process of defeating the Emperor, and you know people make a big deal about Aeris dying, probably because Aeris is so relatable and so much just fun to be in your party. But 4 party members die in this game. Final Fantasy kind of set that precedent quick that no one is safe from dying, and that war just destroys everything. Even the people that survive are in a way broken by a war. I really like it. I really like the story. The story is really good. The writing is decent for 1988. Let's talk about the battle system. Okay, I mentioned this before. I like the battle system. I like the fact that every spell can target one enemy or multiple enemies, or even one ally or multiple allies. I like that. I think that's awesome. I really like that. Now the level up system, isn't that bad. A lot of people shit on the level up system, and I'm not the biggest fan of it either. But it's not fundamentally broken. So the way you level up in this game is that whatever you use in combat will develop. So if you attack a lot with like a sword, your strength will increase and your skill with the sword will increase. Same with like if you fight barehanded, your strength will increase and your skill with your hands will also increase. And that's fine. It also works with magic as well. If you're always casting magic, your magic stat's going to go up. If you're always casting healing magic, your spirit's going to go up. Like it all makes sense. It all kind of makes sense. So you got me so far. But then you have spells that really don't seem designed to be leveled up at all. Like Esuna and Basuna. They cure status effects, but at level 1 they don't do anything. They miss. I don't think in any other Final Fantasy they went that route. In every other Final Fantasy, Esuna just always works. Assuming you can cast it on someone, it'll work. But in Final Fantasy 2, no. If you want Esuna to work, you need to go out, fight some weak enemies, and just cast Esuna like 50 times. It's not too bad. But because of the way the battle system is built, you gotta take the good with the bad. It's a very open-ended battle system, and it's a very open-ended leveling system. And there is some jank in there, but that's kind of part and parcel with having so much freedom. Because you can Esuna your entire party. Like I said, every spell can target single target or multi-target. So you can slow an entire group of enemies, you can stop an entire group of enemies, you can cast total an entire group of enemies. Like the battle system can be exploited. What am I trying to say here? The battle system is as good or bad as you decide to make it. It is imbalanced. I will say that it's imbalanced. It is far too easy to get way too strong by hyperfixating on certain things. So if you're willing to do it, if you're willing to level Toad up to level 16, you can turn the final boss into a Toad. I'm not sure about this version, but you could on the Game Boy version, because I did it. I heard that you could level up Toad to level 16, and you could use it on the final boss. One, it took like hours to level up Toad to level 16. It's not something you would do by accident. Plus, if you use a Toad spell and everything, you're not going to get a lot of gil, because enemies will turn into Toad and run away. But yes, if you really wanted to, on certain versions of this game, you can turn the final boss into a Toad, and just take the wind out of the sails of the ending, because you turned the final boss, the King of Hell, into a Toad. So it's kind of broken. It's fine for a casual playthrough. But it's far too easy to get way too strong. But it's also easy for you to go into an area with enemies that are way above your level and they just wreck the floor with you. Or to go into an area where enemies have a ton of status effects and you don't have Asuna or Basuna and they're not leveled up, and so you need to like stop what you're doing, go buy those spells and level them up, which is not too bad. If you have any kind of residual knowledge about Final Fantasy from playing the others, you're gonna eventually figure out how to play the game. Well, like in the beginning of the game, there's tons of undead, and if you've played Final Fantasy before, you know that undead are weak against fire and they're weak against curative spells. So cast your cure on the undead, cast your fire on the undead, and they'll take tons of damage from it. Same thing with the basilisks and the adamantoids. If you played Final Fantasy before, you know that those two types of enemies are weak against ice. So if you carry ice with you and use ice on the adamantoids, you'll be fine. It's interesting. It's interesting that a lot of the kind of precedents established in this game have lasted for so long. Like undead being weak against fire. I want to say this was the first game that did that. I don't recall if elemental weaknesses were a huge thing in the first Final Fantasy. Like they were for the remakes, but I don't know about like the very first one. I do know that white mages had spells that specifically targeted undead. I don't remember if in original Final Fantasy 1 Cure would do damage to undead. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But those precedents, like what enemies are weak to what, and things like that, were kind of established in this game. You also have early installment weirdness too. So in every modern Final Fantasy, if you have a status ailment, Asuna is going to cure it. Like Asuna will cure almost everything. But in this game, they make a distinction between status effects that persist after battle and status effects that don't persist after battle. So, stun. Stun does not last after a battle, but it'll last the entire battle. So if you get stunned in a boss fight, that character is pretty much out of the fight. So you can't use Asuna on him. You have to use Basuna. So you have to level up 2 different spells that cure status ailments if you want to, like, you know, be able to protect against status ailments. Or you could just level Toad up and just turn everything into a fucking Toad and GG. Which is kind of how I got through the final boss, or the final dungeon. I also turned off encounters for a decent amount of time just so it wouldn't take even longer. But pretty much throughout the end of the final dungeon, I just turned everything into a Toad and maybe attacked once or twice every now and then. The final boss must have stupid high defense. I don't know. I always use the blood sword when I fight the final boss because it kills him in like 2 hits. Final boss has 15,000 health. So the final bosses of Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 2 are significantly harder than anything else in the game. I don't think anything else in the game has more than 5,000 health, and the Emperor has 15,000 health. Oh, listen to that remix, though. Listen to that music. Cryware, you did a really good remaster. Is this the definitive version of Final Fantasy 2? Probably not. I think the PSP version is the definitive version because they add so many optional dungeons and you get to play as the deceased characters in hell. I think that's it. I never played the PSP version, but I watched a Let's Play of it. The Game Boy Advance version is pretty good, but there's nothing added to it. This is more or less a remastered version of the Game Boy Advance. The end. Bottom line, it's worth a playthrough, but I don't necessarily recommend going for the Platinum Trophy. Because you'll find yourself spending hours and hours leveling up magic spells and skills. I think once I hit this button and progress to the next screen, it's going to say you beat the game, and I'm going to get the Platinum Trophy. So here we go. They completed game data? Yes. War's End. Master of 2. It's going to be Master of 2. Let's see it. Master of 2. And a new trophy animation. That is Final Fantasy 2 Platinum Trophy. And I'll be right back. I really need to go to the bathroom. I've had like 3 of these things already. So bright. Let's look at it. Let's look at that beautiful thing. Oh. Master of 2. What's the actual trophy look like? Oh, it's just the logo. It's just the Final Fantasy 2 logo with the 3 stars above it, which indicates the mastery of a job, a la Final Fantasy 5. Did it, guys? We did it. Final Fantasy 1 and 2 are complete. We're gonna delete them though. Wait, eject disk. You popped it? Or you clipped it? On ring light, work with me here. We did it, Rin. We did it. Now, I want to play this game, Hellblade. It's only 9 o'clock, but I want to try to get to bed by 10 o'clock, maybe 11 o'clock at the latest. So should we keep going? Should we play Hellblade? If we do, I'm going to have to stop the stream and restart it. Because the way I do the VODs, it's just easier for me to like stop the stream and start it again. Then I'll have like 2 separate VODs. I have not like put the disc in. I haven't, if I have to like download stuff to the game, I haven't done that yet. Hang on. First we gotta erase some stuff. I hate to say it. We're gonna have to delete some stuff. Such a good game. You gotta update the trophy numbers too. I have Hellblade on Xbox. Fuck it. Let's play it. Okay, where's current plat number? Our plat numbers are 91. And the latest platinum is not Dead Space anymore. It is Final Fantasy 2. And since Microsoft bought the dev, who developed it? Ninja Theory? Ninja Theory developed it? Hellblade 2. Fuck it, we're watching it. Alright, I'm gonna stop the stream and immediately start again just so I don't have to edit. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm just super lazy. I don't want to edit it. I'll be right back.